Detective Hercule Poirot? Ah, Chief Commissioner. On the contrary, it is a most convenient time. The safe passage of a painting? Tell me everything. If man was meant to travel the oceans in such conditions, he would surely have been given his own fins. A distraction is what one needs. Where is that blasted contact? How is one to prepare for an assignment if one does not have all of the required information? Very well. I shall wait no longer.
Beautiful, isn't she?
Pardon, monsieur?
The open water. There really is nothing quite like her.
When one suffers from the mal de mer, the beauty, as you say, is rather more a burden.
Forgive me, I just can't imagine being scared of the ocean in this day and age. The potential to see the world is open to even the ordinary man like us.
I can assure you, monsieur, it is not a matter of being scared. And as for ordinary...
I didn't mean to offend, Mr.
I am...
Forgive me, madame.
No harm done. Accidents happen. My cigarette case, where is it?
I didn't see.
You thought I wouldn't notice? A young lady traveling alone. An easy target for you, I bet.
I'm sure the young lady would appreciate the help of two handsome strangers.
Huh. Oh. Aha. A young lady should not be left to gather her own things.
I didn't drop it on purpose.
Oh dear, what a mess.
You are returning home?
I am. But how did you know that?
Besides your educated accent, the crest that adorns your cigarette case, it is of British origin.
Very observant. It's the crest of my family, and the case belonged to my mother. I take it everywhere with me. Miss Florence Farquhar, a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
The pleasure is ours.
That looks like everything. Except for my powder case.
Is this what you're looking for?
It is! Thank you, Miss...
Miss Babanin. Anastasia Babanin.
Anastasia. What a beautiful name.
It was my grandmother's.
Well, that's everything now. I can't thank you all enough for your help.
I'd be happy to escort you. Here, I'll take your bag.
Oh, yes. Okay, thank you. Cabin 4. I'll be right behind you. Anastasia, perhaps I can offer you a token of my gratitude in the bar later?
That would be lovely.
And you, Mr...
Detective Hercule Poirot, at your service.
A detective? I was not expecting to meet such a distinguished gentleman on board.
I did not expect to meet someone of Russian descent on a ship between the great city of Antwerp and Dover.
I never mentioned where I was from either.
One did not have to. Anastasia, of Russian origin meaning resurrection.
And here was me thinking I was special.
Your knowledge of my heritage is most impressive.
And I'll take that as my cue to leave. Good evening.
It seems it's just us remaining.
I would very much like to hear stories from your homeland. Perhaps you would join me in the restaurant.
As charming as that would be, I'm feeling rather tired. It must be all the sea air.
Then I shall leave you to your slumber. Adieu. As much as I enjoyed the delights of the restaurant, I still found my mind drifting back to Mademoiselle Babagna. She really was quite charming. I have spent the first part of this excursion neglecting my duties. It's time to retrieve my notebook from the safe and begin. The combination was not a difficult one to remember. 1815, the Battle of Waterloo. Et voilà. Time to... One cannot ignore such a blood-curdling scream.
My mother's cigarette case! It's gone! How could somebody do this?
Mademoiselle, I ask that you take a moment to calm.
You're a detective, of course! What luck!
As luck would have it, one of Belgium's finest. Now, I require as many details of the crime as you can offer.
I came to my cabin and began unpacking. I couldn't get the safe working, but the gentleman that helped me with my luggage showed me how it works. Afterwards, I went for a brief walk, and when I returned, the safe was open.
We must consider the suspect list. Those who were aware of the cigarette case's existence.
That can only be those who were up on the deck when my luggage spilled. Miss Babagnin, the porter, yourself.
And your helpful stranger.
Yes, of course.
I ask that you gather them for me. And while you are absent, I shall begin my investigation in here, if Mademoiselle permits.
Whatever you need to do to find it.
Ah. Huh. Huh. Ah. Oh. Oh. Huh. Mademoiselle, I thought you would be returning with a gentleman also.
The gentleman wanted to speak to the porter alone first.
I was unaware he is also a detective.
He's not a policeman. He works in insurance, I believe.
It appears I shall be spending my time chasing amateur detectives around the ship. Mademoiselle, I would like to start with who had access to the safe combination.
No one. It was in a sealed envelope that was waiting for me when I arrived. I memorized it and threw the paper overboard. 4385. It's really not that difficult to remember.
A similar envelope was waiting for me upon my arrival. The date of the Battle of Waterloo, as I recall. Every safe, although identical, must have a different combination.
After the gentleman helped me with the safe, he left.
If the mysterious gentleman is behind the theft, he went to great lengths to hide his fingerprints, but did little to hide his movements in Mademoiselle Farquhar's cabin. There are many questions that require answers, answers I believe he may hold. Another success. I never doubted myself. Huh. Mademoiselle Babagnan, I'm sorry we must continue our conversation under these circumstances.
On the contrary, what fantastic luck that you are here. Now I get to see you at work. I'm afraid I've done very little, actually. After we parted ways, I went to my cabin. I had barely unpacked and I was fast asleep on the bed.
Alone?
That is a rather personal question, don't you think, Detective? I'm sorry, I'm a little nervous. A poor attempt at a joke. Yes, I was alone.
There is no need to be nervous. And then?
And then I was woken up by Florence's scream. I have never heard something so terrifying.
You have been most helpful, mademoiselle. I shall not take up any more of your time. Mademoiselle Farquhar, I shall have your cigarette case returned to you before we reach the English coast.
I hope so, Detective.
You caught me, reading my own article.
I must say you raise a very interesting point. Art should have no social boundaries. Creativity is for all to enjoy.
Thank you for saying that. I wish everyone was as open-minded. Yes, I'm really quite excited about it.
You have been invited to a preview at the Royal Edward Gallery. A small world indeed.
Will you be in attendance? It's actually one of the reasons that I have been in Belgium. I was lucky enough to have a sneak peek at some of the pieces on show. I'll also be writing a follow-up article on the success of it. Fingers crossed!
Lucky indeed. I am sure it will be a great success. Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now. Aha. Magnifique! A fingerprint. Now to determine who it belongs to.
You found one, Detective? Oh, how exciting! I suppose you'll want to take mine. To rule me out, I mean.
I'm sorry, but it's just not acceptable, Mark.
I've apologized to the lady.
And that makes everything all right?
It was an accident.
An accident that could have been avoided if you hadn't spent your morning drinking.
Gentlemen, you are behaving like two young boys in the schoolyard. It ends now. Is Mademoiselle Farquhar aware you are acting as her knight in shining armor?
I wouldn't go as far as that. I think perhaps we have got off on the wrong foot. I'm Arthur Hastings.
She requested you to follow her to her cabin, no?
Oh, yes, she did, but I wanted to...
Speak with the porter privately? This was part of your investigation?
Well, I'm not a detective. I was just,
Then perhaps you will answer some questions that are vital to my investigation as a detective.
What can I do for you? It is. Is my employment relevant to Miss Farquhar's missing cigarette case?
I hope you will entertain me for a moment. What would you say the chances of proving a theft in a case such as this one are?
Well, a report from a detective like yourself will certainly help expedite her insurance claim.
As I thought. It had perhaps not crossed her mind before, but being amongst an officer of the law and an insurance man, the idea of insurance fraud may have appeared appealing.
When Miss Farquhar, told me that something had gone missing from her safe, I thought it must have been the porter.
How so?
I'd rather not say with him standing just there.
It is not I that controls the volume of your voice.
You must have noticed the smell of beer on his breath. I wouldn't put it past a man that drinks on the job to steal.
That is quite the accusation. And if you were correct, you wish to settle the matter with him privately?
I wanted to give him what for, but I suppose I lost my nerve. I'm what some would call a middleman. I oversee the handling of recently sold items and put the buyer in contact with an appropriate insurer.
The mention of insurance initially sparked my attention. But the more he talks of his work, I believe he may be my mysterious contact from Lloyd's of London. It was your work that took you to Belgium?
I can't go into too many details, but I'm actually delivering a rather special piece of art to London. I'm meant to be meeting an official of some sorts that's supposed to be helping me, but no sign of them yet.
And it is confirmed. It concerns me that my supposed trusted colleague has found himself involved in the middle of my investigation. I will continue to withhold my true identity and see how Monsieur Hastings' involvement concludes. Merci, monsieur.
This really is an exciting case. Anything I can do to help Miss Farquhar, please don't hesitate to ask.
Your enthusiasm has been noted. Perhaps you and I can have a more civilized discussion.
I'll tell you the same as I told your friend. I will not be bullied.
Intimidation is not my forte. What is uncovering the identity of criminals and making sure they are punished to the fullest extent of the law.
And that's me?
That is what I am yet to conclude.
Who said anything about drinking alcohol?
It does not take a detective to identify the distinct odor on one's breath.
Maybe one to calm my nerves. My sea legs aren't here yet, that's all. I was in the cargo hold, cutting something with my knife, and it slipped. No harm done.
I'm not quite sure you understand what that means.
So now I am stupid and a drunk?
Do you have the knife in question on your person now?
I don't. He stole it and won't return it.
What can I do for you?
Aha. Huh.
You could ask me anything. Am I to be used as your guinea pig?
I would not dare compare you to a guinea pig. Would you be so kind?
The answer is yes, of course. I have nothing to hide.
Some would say a lucky guess. I would say a moment of genius.
You could ask me anything.
You have been most helpful.
Of course. Whatever you need. Insured? Oh no, why would I have it insured?
Anything of substantial monetary value.
I'll stop you there, Detective. The cigarette case itself is hardly worth 2 pennies, but to me, it's priceless. Not for a second. At least not with my permission. You probably think this silly, naive woman has left her valuables out, or I've just misplaced them. But I assure you, that is not me.
It had not crossed my mind for even a moment. What a revelation! Hot on the culprit's heels.
Of course. Whatever you need. One step closer to revealing the truth.
I must consider the suspects I have in front of me. Monsieur Hastings. He is keen to impress Mademoiselle Farquhar and claims that he was alone in his cabin working since. Mark Allard, the porter. Evidence suggests a rather amateur attempt to break into the safe, which in his intoxicated state would make sense. But it was just a ruse. The safe was opened quite masterfully, leaving only signs of a poorly attempted break-in. Mademoiselle Babagnan, a new friend to Mademoiselle Farquhar, who appeared at a most convenient time. I cannot see a motive besides the obvious value of the cigarette case, but Mademoiselle Farquhar has made it quite clear the value is of a sentimental nature. Perhaps the best thing for me would be to return to my cabin to think. I fear my legs, and perhaps even my evening meal, will not last much longer amidst these waves. Perhaps.
Ah, detective. How goes the investigation?
A good detective, better yet, a great detective, will find motive, means, and opportunity.
She found it! Miss Babagnan found it! Oh, thank heavens!
I was on my way to speak with the captain when I saw something shining underneath one of those pipes.
Strange that it was not spotted earlier by any one of us while on the ship's deck.
Maybe the thief was scared and dumped it for fear of being caught red-handed.
Miss Babagnan, Anastasia, you saved the day. I can't thank you enough. And you, of course, detective.
I find Mademoiselle Babagnan's explanation of finding the cigarette case rather coincidental. But without any definitive proof, I cannot suggest anything otherwise. The cigarette case has been returned and the coast is in sight, which is what is important. Although, there still remains a part of me that craves the truth.
I suppose you can chalk that up as a victory.
A victory for Mademoiselle Farquhar, but not in the eyes of the law.
Well, if anyone asks, I'll confirm what a splendid job you did.
Very kind, monsieur. While we are on the matter of truth, Monsieur Arthur Hastings, you are here to oversee the transportation of the penitent Magdalene painting, are you not?
How on earth?
You are aware of my employment, but not of my true identity. Detective Hercule Poirot.
Wait, are you the official that I was supposed to have met on board?
Oui, monsieur. Please, accept my apologies for keeping my true identity hidden. But I had to be sure your involvement with the theft was purely coincidental. When it comes to the nature of our work, trust must be earned.
A little unorthodox, but I suppose I understand. So you can trust me now?
It continues to grow.
Well, we have a couple of weeks before the gala, so hopefully by then you'll trust me with your life.
One can hope.
I don't think I'll ever stop being amazed seeing such incredible pieces up close.
One would certainly hope not.
Oh. Huh. Oh.
What do you gentlemen think of this particular piece?
Can it really be?
To a layman, perhaps. I'm afraid it's a complete fake.
No. Such eloquent and delicate work.
Very observant. But that doesn't make it authentic. You know, even Michelangelo himself was an art forger in his early career. See if you can spot the telltale sign of a forgery.
Aha.
The craquelure is inconsistent across the painting. Surely a sign of a cheap imitation.
Very impressive, Detective. Unconvincing aging is one of the most common giveaways of a forgery, whether it be in the craquelure, the smells of chemicals used to artificially age the painting, pigments that haven't dulled with age. Sometimes it's as simple as the materials used just not existing at the time of painting. The trustees were quite excited by its arrival, but it didn't take me long to identify its faults.
Quite the detective yourself, Mademoiselle Warbeck.
Please, call me Evelyn.
If there's one thing I've learned in the short time I've spent with the detective here, formalities and politeness are essential.
They are a cornerstone of modern civilization and must be upheld.
This city could benefit from more gentlemen like yourself.
Now that the etiquette of our greetings has been decided, shall we finalize preparations?
I was hoping you'd say that. The exhibition area needs to be secured. I wonder if you would be able to lock the remaining doors for me? I'll lock the west wing door when I'm finished there. And if you could tie this ribbon around the handles of the main door for me, I'll leave it outside.
If securing the exhibition room is what Mademoiselle Warbeck requires, that is what shall be done.
Huh.
Miss Warbeck did ask you to make it look pretty.
One shall complete the task to the degree it is requested. Symmetry is the key, you see.
Oh yes, I see.
Everything is now ready for the arrival of the guests.
I assume you have the list of guests?
I am afraid not. It would usually be an essential part of my preparation. In fact, it perturbs me that there is something I did not have time to prepare for.
Would you like me to find Miss Warbeck? There may still be some time to check the list. Look, there's Miss Farquhar, with Miss Babinin.
Seems that they became fast friends after the incident on the ship. Intriguing.
Intriguing how?
Speculation, monsieur. Nothing more.
That head of yours is just constantly full of thoughts. Who's this?
I have no idea, but she's sure to turn heads with such a fetching dress.
I quite agree. And who is this dapper-looking gentleman?
Mon Dieu!
Wait a minute. Is that... Well, I never! Poirot, you devil! Forgive me. Where are my manners? Detective Poirot.
Goodness, Monsieur Demire. Poirot is more than adequate for an old friend.
He saves my family from near ruin, uncovers a murderous plan, and still has the modesty to not correct a buffoon like me.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Heavens, my manners appear to have been replaced by surprise and excitement. Forgive me. Monsieur Demire, this is Monsieur Arthur Hastings.
You've got yourself a partner now. Well, any friend of Poirot's is surely a friend of mine.
Monsieur Hastings has been kind enough to show me the sights of London. A more than adequate guide.
I would take that. It's as often as a blue moon you see Poirot handing out approvals like that.
And what is it you do, Mr. Demire?
A previous field medic, Monsieur Demire now finds himself working for...
With?
Pardon. With his brother, doing most honorable charitable work all across London.
Need I say more?
Could everyone gather together for a photograph, please? Would you all move a bit closer together for me, please?
I didn't realize we were going to be in the newspaper.
Is that a problem?
No, not at all. I just want the camera to get my best side.
Okay, if everyone is ready.
So, Poirot, what on earth are you doing here anyway?
My orders were to see to the safe travel of the centerpiece of the exhibition, the penitent Magdalene. Monsieur Hastings here travels with me, covering any administrations and insurance requirements.
Art protection? That's a bit beneath the great Hercule Poirot, isn't it? Especially protecting it from this lot.
Perhaps you would be so kind as to introduce us.
Where's the fun in that? We have to make sure those... What's it you call them again?
You are referring to my little grays.
Little grey cells, yes? That's it. I've been playing a little game. I've been trying to find a painting to match each of the guests. At least the ones I'm acquainted with. I wondered, Poirot, do you think you can ascertain which paintings match which guests? I can give you a little info, but you'll need to make your own inquiries. Miss Irene Courtsmith. She's one you'll want to keep your eye on in the future art scene. Born and raised on a rather affluent estate, She turned her back on her parents in her teens to start a new life in London as an artist.
She's a very nice young lady.
Ah, really? Interested, are we?
I was only making a comment on her nature, nothing untoward, I can assure you.
Or as we are all meant to refer to him as, the Honorable Reverend Horace Mountjoy. He's a man of the church. I'm not sure what else there is to say. If you're wanting to keep the lectures to a minimum, I'd avoid admitting to anything that could even be considered a sin. Ah, Mortimer Aylesworth. If you've not heard of him, I'd get familiar with the name. Eton and Cambridge educated, he followed in his father's political footsteps and has already surpassed them. Johann Christiansen and his glamorous wife Betty Allen.
Betty Allen, the actress?
The very same. They've been here in London for a few years, although she still plays down her baldness for British society, even with her recently taking a new role in the theatre.
She did not take his name in marriage?
Allen is her maiden name. Works as her stage name too. A lot snappier than Christiansen.
And his employment?
He's a partner for a private bank in London. He has told me what he actually does many times before, and many times I've forgotten. You will no doubt already know our host, Evelyn Warbeck.
We have already made her acquaintance. Very pleasant, if not rather flustered by today's exhibition.
That's everyone. Well, there's Mr. Hastings here. I'm sure we shall get to know each other better. And our mystery woman.
Anastasia Babanin. We met briefly while traversing the channel.
Look at you, Poirot. Got a love interest of your own, huh?
Monsieur Demire, must I remind you of why I am here?
No. No need at all. I know you're strictly business. Let's see what you can do then. And come back to me when you know enough about the guests to solve my little mystery. So, have you any thoughts on my little mystery? So, 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 So,
Everything seems to be running smoothly. You've done a sterling job. Everything except for the bishop and the other trustees, stooges. It was never going to be easy going up against them. All men of a certain age, not used to the idea of change. But they didn't get their way this time. And with my exhibit coming up, this place will finally have a showing they can be proud of, and the quality the museum deserves.
Mademoiselle Court Smythe believes her upcoming exhibition will change the perspective of the trustees and the public. I get the feeling she enjoys the accolades and being the center of attention.
Detective Poirot, you're looking much happier being on solid land.
There was a moment when I thought that wretched sea would get the best of me.
Well, I'm certainly glad it didn't.
As am I. Please, do not allow me to disturb you, mesdames. Adieu.
Beautiful, isn't it? Not like the modern tripe Miss Warbeck insists on bringing into the museum. Oh, the Lord will not look fondly upon her choices.
I would hope one's choice of art would not affect one's chances for a better afterlife.
Let's hope not, for her sake. Incredible, isn't it? And to think we are all located on that one small planet, revolving around an all-encompassing star. To think of all the suffering. I give what I can to charity, but what this country needs is someone willing to put the poor first.
I'm well aware of where we are. I just want to make sure I'm looking my best for the photographs.
And people call me the drama queen.
Oh. Aha. Ah. Huh. Aha. Oh.
It is a great pleasure to see you again, mademoiselle.
I've been looking forward to us bumping into one another. Thank you again for your help.
I must admit, I feel almost tormented that I was not able to uncover the identity of the thief.
All that matters is that it was found. If you'll excuse me, I really should get on. This article isn't going to write itself. I moan, but it's my love. My obsession, you could say.
How dare you! That might be something you say where you're from, but not here. Not to me.
What a waste of champagne.
I thought this was supposed to be a civilized event.
Are you all right, mademoiselle? I hope you did not spill any champagne on your gown.
Don't worry about me. It's only that wretched man that has got some cleaning up to do.
His suit and his mouth, by the sounds of it.
Do not allow this to ruin your day.
I have no intention of allowing such a thing. In fact, we have business to discuss.
It would be good to at least schedule a time that suits us both.
Monsieur Christiansen and Madame Hélène have returned. You are to be the focus of Mademoiselle Farquhar's article.
Miss Court Smythe here is the next big name, and she has been kind enough to offer me an exclusive interview.
Madame Hélène has left via the exit, but Monsieur Christiansen has not gone with her. Do not allow me to interrupt your work.
You've had more than enough time, detective. So, how did you get on?
If one is to discover the truth, one must proceed using the correct methods and cannot be rushed.
Why might they be like this particular piece? That's right! Although I shouldn't be surprised. Anyone else? Why might they be like... That's right! Although I should... Anyone else? Why might... That's right! Anyone else? Why am I... That's right! Anyone else? Why am I... That's right! Anyone else? Why am... That's right! Anyone else? Why am I... That's right! That's everyone. Well done. I should have known it'd be no challenge for you.
I have faced many a more demanding challenge, but few quite so enjoyable.
Hi, is he okay? I think something's wrong with him.
I think he's having a heart attack. He seems stable. Now's the time to get him to the infirmary.
Oh, there's no need for that. I'm feeling much better already.
Wouldn't it be best to telephone for a real doctor?
Monsieur Demire was a field medic. What more of a professional is required?
A field medic? Really?
A field medic that has seen people in a lot worse states, who didn't have the luxury of a proper hospital.
Oh, I didn't mean to offend. I'm sorry. If I am being carted off, the unveiling must go on. I will not have this silly old man ruining the gala for everyone.
You drive a hard bargain, Monsieur Aylesworth.
I'd just like to say a few words.
I'm sure you would.
Thank you all for coming. Here at the Royal Edward Gallery, we are proud to present such wonderful works by some truly fantastic artists. And with much negotiation and pleading, we have been able to secure a most fabulous and individual piece. Standing here with you, unveiling today's centerpiece, the Penitent Magdalene, really is a special moment for both this museum and me personally. So, without further ado,
Oh my.
Am I missing something here?
Things just got interesting.
it was. It should be.
Is this some kind of joke? Evelyn, what's going on here? Oh, trust you to have no idea. You've really done it this time, girl.
She's done nothing. It's not her fault.
By the grace of God, it's somebody's fault.
I am quite sure Mademoiselle Warbeck is as surprised as us all. S'il vous plaît, everyone. Remain where you are. Please do not touch a thing. Monsieur Hastings, you saw me lock the door to the restoration room, oui?
Of course, I was by your side. I'm going to be in a lot of trouble for this.
You are not responsible for the painting's disappearance.
But who is?
Do not allow any of the guests to leave the main hall.
And what are you going to do?
What is required? One's job.
So, I don't really know what to say.
Monsieur Hastings, this theft may be a new and foreign concept to you, but to Detective Poirot, it is just another case waiting to be solved.
What do we do then?
We must get to work. If we can ascertain the thief's point of entry and exit, this may all be resolved momentarily. Huh. Ah. Huh. Aha. Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh. Ah. Logical thinking shall always prevail. The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Gentlemen, I have called the police and they should arrive shortly. What can I do in the meantime?
Do you still hold the master key?
Of course. You are the only other person who has had access to it.
Très bien. Please keep it close. I believe the thief may be one of the guests here today. Voilà. Monsieur Hastings, I pose this question to you. If Mademoiselle Warbeck still has the master key.
Is she not a suspect herself?
Très bien. Mademoiselle Warbeck is likely not our thief. The real thief did not care about the museum and what is hung on its walls. At some time during this evening's festivities, the key was taken from her pocket and used in the restoration room door without her knowledge. If we find the pickpocket, we will uncover our painting thief. First, we must search the restoration room. Mesdames et messieurs, your attention please. I am Detective Hercule Poirot of the Belgian police force. I was charged with the safety of the penitent Magdalene painting on its voyage to London from Belgium. The missing painting has indeed cut the celebrations of the gala short, and so I consider my duty to be, as yet, incomplete. Still, with your cooperation, I ask that you all remain within the building, and I intend to speak with you all individually.
If I was the thief, I would certainly be worried after a speech like that. I just wonder if... maybe I should let you do the questioning.
Monsieur Hastings, the painting's safe return also falls upon your shoulders.
I know, but I can make myself useful elsewhere, see what clues I can find.
Things are beginning to become clearer. I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction. Magnifique.